Hi everyone, this is a pick a card reading for Is It Love, Lust or a Lesson? So maybe you're wondering about a connection and you're thinking, is it love, lust or a lesson? And we're going to see, we're going to answer that question and get you lots of information based on it. So we have these four absolutely stunning groups. Now I do want to mention that group number one is quite intimate in nature, especially the cards more so. So I just want to give a warning in regards to that. So if you're not really into like intimate or physically out there cards, then that's probably not the group for you. I just thought I would give that warning straight away, but these other ones are also non-intimate. So yeah, I thought I would just let you know, but feel free to choose which one you are most drawn to, and the pile that you're most drawn to will most likely be your reading. So then you can go to the timestamps in the description box below and you can click on the timestamp and it will take you to your reading. So we have group 1, group 2, group 3 and group 4. And the cards that I've used also in this pick a card reading will be listed down below as well, just for your convenience, so you can find them if you're so drawn to a pile and you're like, oh my god, what are those cards? I can understand because I do that as well. I'm like, whoa, those cards look so amazing. So yeah, we've got some real fresh flowers here, and then we've got some faux flowers here as well, which is quite nice. Do apologise, they're a little bit, they're on their sort of way of, well, the end days, unfortunately, but they're still holding up really beautifully, and I thought we would use them for the reading as well, rather than them just going to waste and just kind of, like, at least we can appreciate them. That's the thing. Now I do want to mention as well, if you'd like to win a free reading with me, do check out the description box below, since I do a giveaway every single month. If you would like to purchase a private paid reading, information will also be down below as well. They're done within 24 to 48 hours. And the last thing I want to mention is that my intention bracelets are on Etsy, so I'll just show those to you. So my Etsy store is always in the description box below, and I'm wearing the Love and Soulmate bracelets right there in the middle. So I'm wearing 2 love ones and a soulmate one. Now these are handmade by me, they're meditated with, they're sage, they're there to remove obstacles and challenges from different areas of your life. And also, if you want to see the reviews and see how other people have seen results of them, please do check out the description box below, since that is where the Etsy shop link is, and then on the Etsy shop link there's the review section. International shipping worldwide, and it's just amazing to see how so many of you have seen results with them. So we have those on there, and then also hand embroidered intention cards, which you can put under your pillow, in your wallet or your purse, completely hand embroidered, because not everyone likes bracelets. So with that being said, everything's always in the description box below, and I'm going to just make some space so that we can start with the reading. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move, because I want to keep these beautiful roses right there. There we go. And I'm actually just going to take away the faux flowers, and we shall move these to the side. Alright, so group number 1, let's have a look and see whether this is love, lust, or a lesson. I'm quite intrigued, and I wonder if you're also intrigued and you're wondering, wonder which one it is. I'm just going to take my sweater off, it's so hot in here. It's getting hot in here. Okay, I also want to mention as well, just before I start this reading, that this deck is quite intimate in nature. So, if you don't like those kinds of decks, then maybe, don't watch this. Maybe choose another group, but I always just have to say that as well. Okay, so let's get started. Is it love, is it lust, or a lesson? Let's have a look. Is it love, is it lust, or is it a lesson? Love, lust, or a lesson. We're doing a 12 card spread. So I would just, mention that. Also, we've got a card that's just flipped over there, in the deck. Okay, so let's see. We've got here the King of Chalices. I mean, the King of Chalices, that's like a huge emotional bond, that someone actually that, really does care in many ways as well. And you've also got the Sun as well, which had flipped over. You've also got here Judgment. You've got the Empress. And when I specifically quickly just looking at these cards here, I feel like this is love. I see this as love. Now, the reason why is because the King of Chalices is such a strong dominant energy in regards to love, in regards to care, in regards to emotion. And so I know I've just answered your reading in like less than a minute, but hey, you know, it's just the way it is. Or maybe over a minute. But the thing here is that the King of Chalices is absolutely all about, you know, giving and really taking care and nurturing a bond. And so, you know, whether that's happening in this connection or not, I do feel that there is this element and underlying theme of love. And it may be something at times that is quite difficult to understand. It might be something that, you know, is it's a little bit like, really, you know, but it is love. And that's what I'm seeing. I mean, the sun here is extremely, extremely pure in energy. The sun is ruled by the sun. The sun, you know, gives life. The sun allows growth. It does not restrict. And that's the thing that I'm seeing here. Can the sun also burn? Can it be too much? Yes, but that's the thing, right? Love is just ever giving. It's ever flowing. And I just feel like the sun here represents that element of love. It's warm, you know? So yes, I feel like this is love. It's nourishing. And when I also think about the phrase nourishing, we see all of these beautiful, we see food, right? I was going to say we see this beautiful plate of food, which, if I'm not mistaken, by it being upside down, it is. Wow. Right there. And also here we've got this basket full of some wonderful produce as well there as well. So the thing that I'm really seeing is that this is about nourishment, and love is nourishing. It's not restricting to that level. Can love be toxic? Yes, absolutely it can. But here I'm seeing it actually being nourishing. It helps with self-growth. So there's this element of love being the big theme and the big part of it. But then also stemming off of it, I'm seeing learning a lot, you know. So when I ask the question, is it love, lust, or a lesson? Lesson, to be honest, is more of this energy of like, okay, you were just meant to learn something from this person. But I see this being a learning situation for you. I don't specifically see a lesson to the point where you learn the lesson, then you move on from the person. This is someone who you learn from. This is someone who you grow from. This is someone who helps in your journey, and that's how I see it. So I see this person as someone that allows you to grow and just really find things about yourself that maybe you really didn't know before as well, existed. But it's more so based on the element of love rather than being a lesson, right? It's a learning curve and it's part of the growth. That's what I'm seeing. So I would say when I ask the question, is it love, lust, or a lesson? I do believe that this is love, right? But this person just also teaches so much. You learn so much from this person rather than it being a lesson. So I thought I would just distinguish that as well. Okay, because then if I say, oh, you know, learning as well, you might think, okay, well then is it a lesson? But I see it more as just learning and love. So I thought I would just make sure of that. We've got the rose that's a little bit upside down. There we go. Facing back to front. There we go. Okay, so we've also got here the Empress. Empress is ruled by Venus, and this is love, right? When you've got the Empress, you've got Venus, it's love. I don't know how else to say it, but it is love. You know, it's like that phrase, say it louder for the people in the back. It is love. Scream and shout it from the top of your lungs. It is love. And then we've got here Judgment, and Judgment is ruled by Pluto, and look up here as well. It's just, you've got, oh, you can't make this up. There's a rose. Roses are red, violets are blue. They love you. What more can I say? This is love. You know, at times you may feel like you know, the thing is, love can get hard. You know, love is not always the most easiest thing in the entire world. It's not. No connection is 100% perfect. But I do feel that this is something you learn and you grow from. This is something that just gives you so much, and it's something that is quite transformative, because Judgment is also about transformation, because it's tied to Pluto, and Pluto is all about transformations and deep-rooted emotions, and that significance really is there. So I believe very, very strongly in my heart that this is love, especially with the ties that you have there. It's like you feel like you're tied to this person, like you're a part of this person, and that you don't want to, you know, break away from this person, but at the same time they also have that energy of not wanting to break away. Like somehow there's this magnetic force that just pulls the two of you together. There's this magnetic field, you know, this thing that just, it, you know, it's like a magnet. The red and the blue bit, it just attracts no matter what you try. Roses are red, violets are blue. Red and blue, magnet. Got a lot of red here, and then you've also got quite a bit of blue. It's all just making sense in this reading. So if you've chosen this reading, it's pretty significant in that sense as well. Okay, so we've got here also the Hermit. Okay, so the Hermit is really about, you know, a lot of thinking, a lot of depth. And that's the thing here, is that it's about depth in this connection. When you think of the Hermit, my God, the Hermit thinks a lot, right? It's not just surface level, it goes deep within, and it's a lot of thoughts. It's a lot happening, often all at once. So this is deep, and it's very significant. When I think of love as well, it is very deep and it's very significant. You know, you think about everything, you know, you think about every aspect and every part, you know, of the connection as well. So again, I feel like it's very significant. I think it's very important in that sense as well, because it paints a picture for so much. And then also on top of that, we've got here the Knight of Wands, so a lot of physical attraction and chemistry, right? Intimacy, but in a very loving way, especially when you've got the King of Chalices. This is, you know, intimacy in a very like deep-rooted emotional way, where it just feels really special. Any kind of intimacy in this connection feels, you know, just so heartwarming and just so, you know, like you are just a part of it with that person through and through. It doesn't feel like it's just, you know, a one night thing. It's more so it's just you know, so emotional at the same time. And that's what I'm seeing, is that it's more so love. Like it's really love. Like you feel like you're on a journey with this person. You feel like you're just with this person, and just, you know, like they're just there. There's this attraction, you know, and the thing is, for some of you, it may be very difficult, you know. This connection for some can be very, very tumultuous and very difficult, but there is this underlying sense of love that I am seeing here, and that's something that's really getting picked up quite significantly as well. The main thing here is that you learn a lot from one another. You've got the Knave of Wands as well. See the progression here? So there is a spark, there is that intimacy in terms of like physical attraction, but right from the start as well, and it grows. So that's also something that I'm seeing grow. Now, these are also energies that you would also consider as lust. So I'm feeling like the lust here also develops into love, but basically, for this particular spread, I am seeing love as the big thing. Yes, you know, you can have, you know, lust and things like that, but lust can also develop into love. Like, I just want to mention that too. So I really see here like physical attraction, but this is more intimate than I would say purely just lust-based, if that makes sense. It's very intimate, it's very romantic, it's very much so also the emotional element of it coming into play as well. So it's not just all based on physical attraction and appearance, it is also based on thoughts and actions and the way that you are, because judgment is about your decisions. It's about how you speak, how you do things, you know, day to day as well, and the kind of person that you are, your personality, that also shines through. It's not just all about your physical appearance and what you look like and your body and the physical side of things and intimacy. It's not just about that, it's also about what you think about, you know, with the Hermit, your thoughts, your values, your vision, and that is all really very much so considered here when we look at the overall spread, which again ties to love. And you've got here the Ace of Pentacles, so absolutely, you know, this is love. This is not just purely lust, this is not just purely a lesson, this truly is love, and I very much so stand by it, because the Ace of Pentacles here is about stability, it's about security, it's about feeling warm, and it's about feeling like, you know what, there is something really significant here, and it's about embracing that and being a part of it. And I think that's also very, very important in many ways as well, is that it really does show that level of security, for sure. That, again, I believe that that is love. Okay, so we've actually got this card there as well, and we just need one more card. There we go. I knew it would eventually come out, which is why I wasn't really too, bothered if nothing was coming out for a while, because I was like, eventually it will. So let me just put the deck on the side here. There it is. Okay, so we've got here the Six of Wands. This is about victory, celebration. It's also about, really just being in the moment as well. So I do feel that this is an energy, again, that's really tied to the love aspect and progressing towards it. The Six of Wands at times can be seen as something that is a bit more sort of lust-like, but also when we consider the rest of the cards, it's almost like, they become that way for you, but they also have this care towards you. It's not like they just want the physical side of things. Like, that's not what I'm seeing just purely existing in this connection. As I mentioned, there's a lot in regards to your mind and also your values, your goals, your dreams. When we look at the Ace of Pentacles, that is about the bigger picture. That's about also you and your way of thinking, your way of doing. That's also quite important. Your personality, how you feel. That's also got so much significance in regards to this particular reading as well. Then we've also got here the Magician. See, this is also communication. That means a lot to them as well. How you communicate, what you say. And this is, again, based on love. They don't just have the physical, intimate thing with you and then just disappear, or they don't just send those kinds of messages and then disappear. Like, this is an energy where there is love. This is an energy of them wanting to communicate, wanting to know your deeper side, wanting to know your values, your goals and your dreams, while still having that physical, intimate side. It's more so about balance here, and that's what I'm seeing, and that is love. We've also got here the Knight of Pentacles. See, Knight of Pentacles can be slow. So this person at times can be slow, but they also know what they want, right? And so again, there is that energy of love here, that energy of wanting something stable, wanting something, going forward. And you've got the Emperor. So the really interesting thing here is that the two of you can be opposites, right? You can be opposites that attract. Again, we saw that with the red and the blue, because you got the Empress, who is so loving, so kind, so caring, always wants, and wants to love more so, not just wanting things all the time, but wants to love, wants to give love. And then you've got the Emperor, who can be a bit more emotionally detached, but really takes action towards things. So they complement one another, and they are actually counterparts. And so what I'm seeing here is, again, the last card that we have just placed down shows to you that this truly is love. The opposites attract. Sometimes it can be difficult. Sometimes it can be, difficult to understand like how, but I really do feel that this is love. You've got here two very strong counterparts, and it's not just about the physical side of things. It's also got so much more depth to it, which I think is also very significant and very, very important. And that is something that we are definitely seeing here on the cards, that this is love. Alright, so group number one, this is your reading. If this resonates with you, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Do check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and of course my intention items, which are on Etsy. And I will see you all very soon. Take care. And now I'm going to move on to group number two. Alright, group number two, this is your reading for Is It Love, Lust or a Lesson? So let's have a look. I'm going to do a 12 card spread and we will see what is coming through for you. So let's see. One of the cards just fell right into my drawer section, which is on this side. I always keep my drawers open just because I always know that cards just slip right into there. So the card that's actually gone in there is the Six of Wands, very interestingly enough. It's like sticking to my table, which is strange. Could be because of the roses, but we shall see, because I did have them here, so maybe there's something on them. Let's see what else is coming through. Got another card that's just flipped over here as well. We've got the Three of Wands. King of Pentacles. Well, first thing I do want to say is that this person was very evidently brought into your life for a very, very specific purpose. This person was really here to teach you a lot about yourself. This person was really there to teach you a lot about yourself in terms of your growth, your values, how you deserve to be treated, what you deserve in life, how you want to feel about yourself, how you want things to happen, how you want things to progress. And that's something that's quite significant on the cards, is that it's really teaching you so much about yourself, especially with the Six of Wands. This is such a strong energy about this person coming into your life for a very significant purpose, and threes in tarot also indicate karma. So there is this idea very much so about a lesson, but we're going to dive much, much deeper into that, and I'm going to shuffle the rest of the cards out just so that we can get a much, much clearer picture in regards to everything. We've got the World. These cards are so slippery, so I'm just going to continue to shuffle. Knight of Swords, King of Cups, we've got the Ace of Cups as well. We have the, I'm like, wow, they're just moving around so much. Page of Pentacles. Nine of Wands. We've got the Page of Wands. Whoa! Okay, got some bonus cards. There's also one that just almost fell on my lap. It was just dangling on the edge of the table. So let's just put this deck right in here. Okay. So here's what we have. We also have here the Ace of Pentacles. We've got the Page of Wands, which I think I showed you already. So let's just ended up on the top somehow. So let's just do this, and Page of Cups. So we have got another page. We've also got here the Nine of Cups and Nine of Cups. Ta-da! King of Swords, okay, and I showed you the Ace of Pentacles. So one thing for sure again is I very much so stand by exactly what I said at the beginning, and I knew that the rest of the cards would also very much so emphasize that, which is why I wanted to get the rest of the cards out, just so that I could explain everything together rather than explaining a few cards, shuffling for more cards, explaining the other cards, and then pretty much saying the same thing over and over again. So I do feel that this person has come into your life for a very specific reason. This person has come into your life very much so and if you're cross-watching, then it's for, you know, another person obviously, or you know, a specific connection that you're thinking about. This person has very much so, and I'm going to say it in that way also, so this person has come into your life very much so to teach you lots about yourself, you know, your values, your personal goals, your dreams, what you should stand for, what you shouldn't stand for, and not in a toxic way, but more so for you to understand what you deserve and what you do not deserve, because at times you may also very, very much so feel like you are misunderstood. At times you may feel like you're not getting exactly what you want at all times, and this person here has really come into your life to teach you that, you know what, you are strong, you are confident, that you should stand up for yourself and you should dance to the beat of your own drum. You should dance to your own music, because why not? You know, why not? We live once, and this person wants you to do you, to be you. And the King of Pentacles here shows that they really came into your life for a specific period of time to show you that you can be strong, that you can be confident that you can do the things that you want to do without having to overly depend on someone. And that's something that we're seeing here. So the Three of Wands also shows that they have really taught you a lot of very vital and very crucial lessons in regards to yourself, and how to be patient with yourself, but also how to take care of yourself and to put yourself first, and not to put your life on hold, to continue for you and to not give up for you, because I feel like you're someone that just always does things for others, but this person came into your life to allow you to break that cycle, so that you're not always in that cycle of just doing for others, but then you also are able to break that cycle to do things for you, which is also quite important. And as hard as that can be at times, we do have to put ourselves first, otherwise we will drain our own energy, and we just get into this not so great cycle. And that's what I'm seeing. The Page of Pentacles here really shows that it's almost like they came in as a blessing in many ways, taught you so much about you and your own personal emotions, and how to deal with your emotions, and how to make yourself stronger at times, even if you felt at times like you're not really that strong. This person has really allowed you to put yourself first through any BS that you have truly dealt with, and to say like, okay, now, yeah, I definitely need to put myself first, because I'm not always being put first, if that makes any sense. So the Knight of Swords shows that they came into your life to teach you things. This air sign energy is really about clarity. It's also about communication, and it's also about direction and a vision. So they came into your life to teach you more about your personal direction, your personal vision, how you want things to go, how you want things to progress, how you feel about you. And I think that's also extremely vital and super, super crucial, because at the end of the day, you have you. And I think that's very, very important as well, is that you've got yourself at the end of the day. And that is essentially what I feel like they came in to teach you, is that you must look after number one, and number one is you. So this person, I feel, really came into your life to teach you a lesson, especially with that Ace of Cups. It's also about self-love, putting yourself first and not just always other people. This is also about giving that love to yourself, giving that cup to yourself, gifting yourself that full cup, which can be so hard to do. And it can be so hard to drink from our own cup sometimes, because we always maybe want to give that cup to others. But this person has really taught you the value of giving to yourself and making sure that you give to yourself first. It's a little bit like, I'm thinking of the aeroplane, where you have the oxygen masks, and you have to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before attending to anyone else, including younger children or anyone else. You got to put it on yourself first before you attend to others. And that's the kind of energy I'm seeing here, where you got to drink from your own cup before you give to others. And it's not necessarily a selfish thing, because it makes sense, right? If you're always giving to others, then what do you have left for yourself? It's not that you're constantly just taking what others have. That's different. This is about you always giving to the point where, what if you don't have that left for yourself? Then it's going to make you feel worse, and you do have to take care of yourself. So this person really came into your life, whether it was in a soft way or a very, very harsh way. They came in to teach you so much about yourself, to realize that you do deserve so much more, that you in a way, you also are so strong, you're so blessed within yourself, and really to give yourself that as well, that you have the ability to do so. So the Knight to the King here really shows that this person came in to teach you, some very vital lessons in regards to yourself, and how you should really put yourself first above others as well at times, because it is important. That doesn't mean to say you shouldn't help others. It's to make sure you put yourself first, so then you can help others also with a better energy, and that you can be there for others in a better energy. Because when you serve yourself, you'll find that things come back to you in such a greater way. And when you really put yourself on the forefront and do things for you, you'll find that the things that you do for you, the things that come back to you, are just so much better and so much more fulfilling. And that's what I'm seeing here. There's this very strong energy of fulfillment that I pick up, and this Ace of Pentacles here shows that this is really, it's a big, big lesson. And I know the Ace of Pentacles here can very much so seem like, oh, maybe that is love. I do think that this person did have some love towards you. I very much so see that, because these two aces are very, very significant, but it also shows this very strong lesson of self-love. It shows self-appreciation. When you've got these 3 pages here as well, I believe we have 3 pages, we have 2 kings, right? This energy is very significant, and of course, no, 3 kings. We have 3 kings and 3 pages. Wow. Wow. Do you see that? 3s in tarot, I mean, karma, right? 3s in tarot indicate karma. So you can see here that this person really came in to teach you multiple different things in regards to you, and also what you deserve. I mean, the page here as well, Page of Cups, is about, you know, what you deserve in love, making sure that it suits you, it satisfies you, and if not, then, you know, it's about thinking more so about yourself and what suits you and what doesn't. Then you've also got here the 9 of Cups, and the 9 of Cups is very significant because it shows your wishes. You know, does this align to your wishes? Is this going to give you what you want for the future? And it is about considering all those things. So this person came into your life to make you consider these things and make you think, like, okay, is this really what you've been dreaming of? And also the King of Swords here shows that as well. You know, is this the bigger picture? This person came into your life to ask, so that you could ask yourself all these questions, because the 9 of Wands here is about pondering, thinking, wondering and contemplating. It definitely makes you think, right? I'm sure that you spent a lot of time thinking about this connection, what it means, if it serves you, if it satisfies you, how it makes you feel, does it make you feel good? If not, why not? What can you do about it? What can you not do about it? You're right? It's probably made you think like crazy, like a lot, you know, a lot and a lot and a lot. And that's what the Ace of Pentacles here shows. It shows this pentacle melting. It just shows so much thought, where you're spending so much time thinking about a specific thing. So Page of Wands here shows that you're constantly thinking and pondering and wondering about, you know, the next move, the next action, the next step, you know, what's going to happen next, what's not going to happen next, how do you feel, how do you not feel. So it goes to show that there's a lot, you know, that this person has really given you in terms of like lessons. You know, I think it's not only is it going to make you stronger and things like that, but I think that it's also going to teach you so much more about the value of your own personal self as well, interestingly enough. So I feel like with this particular reading, it's more so based on lessons. So when I ask the question, is it love, lust, or a lesson, I think a very dominant big part of it is a lesson, very much so. So that is your reading, group number 2. Now, if this resonates with you, let me know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Do check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and of course my intention items, which are on Etsy as well. Everything will be in the description box below. And yeah, so let's now progress on to group number 3. So I'm just going to take away these cards. Alright, so group number 3, this is your reading for is it love, lust, or a lesson? So let's have a look. So this is a beautiful deck which is called Tattoo Tarot, and we are going to do a full 12 card spread to see what's coming through. So let us begin. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle all of the cards out first, and then we will get started with the reading. So you've got here the Ace of Coins, you've also got the 3 of Coins, you've got the 7 of Wands, alright, you've got, well, let me get them out first. Whoa! Oh my gosh. Gush? Oh my gosh? What is oh my gosh? Okay, so we've got the Magician, Justice, 4 of Swords, Ten of Coins, that's very significant. Very, very significant in many ways. We'll talk about that in a second, but I've got the messages coming through. So, Knight of Wands. This is such a significant reading. Wow. So you've got there the Knight of Wands and then you've got the King of Wands. So what I'm going to do is just going to put the King above the Knight. King of Swords. And then... let's see. Alright, let's just put the deck over here. And we've got the Moon. And we've got the Knight of Swords. You can't make this up because you've got the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords. You've got the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands. I mean, the Moon as well. This shows an element of all three things. And that is why it's so significant. You've got an element of lust, you've got an element of love, you've got an element of a lesson. And that's really interesting because on so many levels, what I'm seeing here is that this person does have love towards you, but I feel like this connection could have had a really strong basis in regards to lust, which then developed into love, and also that this person has definitely brought a lot of lessons along the way as well into this particular connection. So there is an element of all three, which I didn't really expect to find in any of these readings, but here we are. Surprise, surprise, right? My throat is just going a bit croaky, so I'm just going to take a sip of my water. Okay, so when I look at that Ace of Coins, I do see here love. When I look at the Ten of Coins, I see love. This is about this person having that love towards you, but also having personal challenges which can also affect this connection quite a bit, or have affected them in the past, this particular connection, quite a bit, you know. So they have personal struggles, they have, I feel, you know, some issues and things they need to resolve and work through. And so at times, you know, this connection could have been a little bit challenging and very all over the place and just really hard to understand. So the Seven of Wands shows personal challenges, but the interesting thing here is that it shows them working through these challenges and not being completely stuck and stagnant and stationary. It shows them working through these things. Now next to it, you've got the Three of Coins, and the threes in tarot represent karma. It represents lessons as well. So yes, I do feel that this person has brought into your life lots of lessons. There may have been a lot of things that happened between the two of you which has taught you a lot about this person, but also taught you so much about yourself and truly what you deserve and what you don't deserve and what you want and what you don't want. It's definitely taught you how to really stand your ground and how not to be taken advantage of in certain situations as well, and how to manage your way around certain thoughts and emotions as well. So the Three of Coins here shows also an element of teamwork and collaboration, and that's what I'm seeing. Is it's almost like this person really does hold on to you, even though at times they can come across as maybe unstable, you know, not 100% having got themselves together at times. So it's this energy of them wanting to work through things, it's this energy of them wanting to try at least and try to progress things, but at the same time, oh my gosh, I need to show you this because I can see it on my device. It's 11:11. That's the thing. I can see it on my device because I have a clock on there, but obviously I can't like pick up the device and show you because I'm recording on the device, which is another thing. So it just goes to show you, you know, 11:11 is so significant, and that just shows that there's so much more to come in regards to this particular connection. That's the thing, is that it's really taught you a lot about yourself. And when we think of 11:11, it's a fire energy number, and it's so interesting here because you've got a lot of, you've got some decent amount of fire going on. I mean, I'd say that's quite a bit, yeah. And also, on top of that as well, you know, it's an energy that is very much so to do with, you know, the core of ourselves, what we deserve, what we want, our values and our visions. And this person has definitely taught you a lot in regards to that and made you very clear I feel, on, you know, what it is that you deserve. So you've learned through this person, like, okay, well, I don't deserve to be treated like this, or I feel like I deserve, you know, this, and this, and it's made you understand much more of what you want, I think. So there's an element of a lesson. There is also an element of love. And there is also an element of lust. You know, we see that with the Knight here. But then it grows into something so much more significant. See, we've got the Knight of Swords here as well, and it grows into something more significant. So this is lust turning into love. And there also being a lesson behind it as well. So love with these two kings is quite significant because it does show an energy of wanting to mature, wanting to get stronger, wanting to be much more communicative and much more understanding, wanting to be much more truthful and honest and loyal and kind and caring and sharing and just more honest and loyal, which I pretty much just said, but I feel like I need to emphasize that because it's not just a small energy, that's huge, right? Honesty and loyalty are make or break when it comes to connections and trust as well. It's just such a make or break thing. It's so vital and so crucial, and that's what I'm seeing here. So the Four of Swords also shows that this person's really made you think a lot in regards to yourself, has made you think a lot in regards to this particular connection, has definitely made you think. Let's be very, very honest and very clear about that. This person has truly made you think so much. My goodness. That's the thing, right? This person has truly, truly made you think about what you deserve, what you want, what you don't want. The Fours in Tarot are about our core, it's about our foundation, you know, and so I really do feel that this person has done, you know, a lot of that in that sense, made you really think. And the Ten of Coins here shows that, you know, this person has, you know, a lot of love for you. It sometimes may not seem that way because this person does feel very, very challenged, but they do have a bit of love there towards you. It's just on the back burner because of all of these challenges that we're seeing. And also the Magician there as well does show this element of, you know, wanting to communicate with you. But remember, the Magician is also an illusionist, and so at times, you know, they can say one thing and do another, and they can have, you know, this vision for a future, but it can get so overshadowed, should I say, by their own personal challenges and struggles, which, by the way, they are trying to work through. And then you've also got here Justice, which shows that they do want to balance things out. And in many ways, this person has taught you so much, right? Because Justice is about lessons. It's also about karma. As much as it is a Libra energy, it's also about karma. And that's something I mentioned very early on. And it's also about balance and honesty and trust and loyalty and them trying to, you know, really balance out their emotions. So this person, I would say, you know, has an element of all three, very much so in regards to this particular connection. And I do feel that they are learning and growing constantly. It seems to me like they're going through just so many lessons, you know, they're trying to understand themselves the best way possible, and they do have love towards you. This connection is in many ways also a lesson for you to learn from. There is this element of lust that has developed into love, but I would say, you know, that out of all three of these, this to me seems more lesson-like. You know, if you were to ask me, like, okay, Moonlight, but can you tell me, you know, specifically, like, which of these three do you think it is more in regards to percentages? I would definitely say it's more leaning towards lesson, but I would say that this spread here and this energy that I'm picking up is really based on love, lust, and a lesson. But I would say that if you were to ask me specifically which one out of the three it's more leaning towards, I would say lesson, I would. So this is what I'm seeing in regards to the energies. You know, they're very emotionally all over the place. See, the moon also shows hot and cold, so I thought I would mention that as well, because it's not necessarily the most straightforward in regards to that. It is quite still very all over the place. In regards to their mind as well, their mind is quite all over the place, and they do feel at times just very emotionally withdrawn and not perhaps as stable as you are, you know. So that's just one thing also that I do want to mention as well. So that's what we've got there. Alright, so group number 3, this is your reading, and if this resonates with you, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Do check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and of course my intention items, which are on Etsy, and definitely do take care of yourself as well. And now we'll go to group number 4. All right, so group number 4, this is your reading. 4, is it? 4. Wow, so many 4s. Your group number 4. This reading is 4. Is it love, lust, or a lesson? And believe it or not, your timestamp is 4444. I just can't with this. We got so many repeats here, but let's see what's coming through. And I'm going to do a 12 card spread reading for this question. So let's see what's coming through. All right, so I'm just going to start by shuffling. And all of the cards that I use in this reading will be listed in the description box below for your convenience, just so that you know where you can find them. All right, so is this love, is it lust, or is it a lesson? Let's have a look. Whoa! Okay, sorry, I just got really excited about that. I can see here, right on the top, the lovers, and I can also see the number 10 here written and what looks like these bells, which, yeah, it's a 10 of cups. Well, they are cups, but I knew that that's not a wand card and that's not a sword card, so that's very significant. Oh my goodness, you've got the lovers. It's the first card that I saw. That just has to mean something very significant. Look at that. The lovers. The lovers with the 10 of cups and also the emperor. Wow. Okay, let's see what the rest of the cards here are saying. So we've got also the 6 of pentacles, right? We've got the 9 of pentacles. We've got the King of Swords. Ooh, Knight of Swords. Queen of Wands. Wow. Wow. Page of Cups. 3 of Pentacles. And let's see what these last 2 cards, okay, they just all come out in a chunk. So we've got actually 3 cards. So we've got a bonus card, we've got the full card, and we've got the Queen of Pentacles, and also we've got the 7 of Pentacles. Alright, I really wanted to get all of the cards out first because I really just wanted to read them all together. That's what I just had this very strong inkling to do. And I have to be honest, I really feel that that's a good idea because, you know, if I was just shuffling 2-3 cards and then speaking about them and then another 2-3 cards, I feel like we would be going in circles and I'd be pretty much saying the same thing. So it's quite nice actually in that way. Now the lovers here shows that this is a connection that is more so based around love than it being, you know, because when we ask the question, is it love, lust, or a lesson, I would circle love. I really would. I would circle love, not just because of that lovers card, but also all the other cards that we have presented here in regards to their energies really do resemble love. This is such a significant and such a strong energy that really points towards there being something so much more in this connection, because when you have the 10 of Cups, it is not about, you know, it's not this energy that points to me, you know, severely in the direction of lust or a lesson. Like, yes, you know, in love we can learn lots of different things and we can really have that, you know, intimate pull towards someone, but that is love in a whole, you know, is that we can still learn from people, we can still have that physical attraction towards someone, and that can still count as love, but also that emotional bond, that emotional connection is just so important and also extremely significant, and that's what we've got with the 10 of Cups. This 10 of Cups here shows that it is love, right? It's not just about the lovers standing there by itself, it's also about the fact that there is this bond, there is something unbreakable that I'm picking up in regards to this reading. It is in many ways also unexplainable. It's this feeling of like you just can't explain the connection. You know, you can try as much as you want to, but what you feel is just so much more significant, and that is love, right? It's not just a one night thing and then okay, bye. You know, that's that's more so lust. But this is something that you just can't explain, even if you try to. It's just this feeling that just does not go. And that is love. Like, this is a feeling of just, knowing that there is something so significant, something that's just so much more powerful, and that's what we're seeing. I mean, the Lovers card is also about a strong spiritual connection. It is about something so much more and so much more progressive, and it's also about, there's just this really strong energy of feeling like, you know what? It's nourishing, it's fulfilling, it's balanced, it's giving, it's progressive, it's not dead, it's not, there's just something so much more to it. And it's like, no matter what happens, it's just this draw and this pull to one another that I keep seeing. So I feel like this really is love, right? And you've also got the Emperor here as well. So this is progressive. This is, like fighting for the connection, trying to, make it as best possible. But this is also, like, I have to say that the other person also feels this as well. At times you may feel like you're really feeling it, maybe sometimes more, but I do feel that this person also feels it as well. So I don't see it being completely a one-sided thing, which again is also very important when it comes to love, and a connection, specifically when it's both-sided, or at least comes from two sides. So I think that's quite important. You also have the Six of Pentacles, and I do believe that the Six of Pentacles is extremely, extremely crucial, because the Six of Pentacles here is just this really strong and very significant energy in regards to balance and peace, right? So again, I believe that this is love. I don't believe that this is, lust or necessarily a lesson. I believe that we're seeing here this balance, we're seeing the scales, we're seeing just this energy of give and take, and something being much more mutual than it be one-sided. So that's something we're seeing here. And the Emperor also shows fighting spirit, but it also shows progression and movement and this embodiment of armor and feelings, which I'm seeing here. Now, the Emperor also in this connection signifies a person who is emotionally at times detached. So if you feel like the person you're dealing with is detached, well, that's the reason. The Emperor is not the most emotionally attached person, right? The counterpart of the Emperor is the Empress. Now, the Empress is so loving, so kind, very emotional, right? Her counterpart is the Emperor. Now, remember, when I'm talking about tarot, and I'm referring to genders, I just want to mention as well that when I specifically read tarot, I don't like to refer specifically, especially when I'm reading for you guys. I don't read specifically in regards to genders. I read to energies, but to describe the counterpart between the Empress and the Emperor, I feel like I had to sort of explain it in that way. So that's the kind of energy where the Empress is much more, just really like emotionally tied into things, whilst the Emperor is not necessarily that way, is much more detached. So I just want to let you know that as well, is that people have different styles of loving, and some people are much more emotionally detached, and some people are much more emotionally attached when it comes to love. So it's just something I want to mention to you, because you might be thinking that in regards to connection, and that might just be that little piece to the puzzle where you're like, okay, now that maybe makes sense. And then you've also got the Queen of Wands. So this is that energy of just feeling nourished, like it gives you something that you've never really felt before. And that's what I'm seeing here, and that's the energy of this particular connection, is it just gives you so much more. Now, make no mistake that like I mentioned, love can also teach us a lot. Love can also, we can learn so much from love. I don't see this, but what I meant specifically is that this is not just a connection that is purely a lesson. This is a connection where there is love, but there is also just this learning element in a positive way, where you learn so much about yourself. You learn to trust yourself. You learn to love yourself. You learn about your visions and your goals, especially from this Knight to the King of Swords here. This is also about trust and loyalty. It is also this faithful energy. It's also about learning about what it is that suits you, fulfills you, and makes you feel stronger, what makes you feel better. And that's the energy we're seeing from this Knight to King, is this fulfillment type of an energy, this progressive type of an energy, especially with the Queen of Wands. This is about nourishment and your own personal, goals, and how you feel, and how you feel supported in many ways. So this particular connection has a lot of what I feel is love, but also learning so much more about yourself and how to support your own self as well, because love is about two individual independent people that complement one another, not two halves that make up a whole. That's the thing. And that is also very significant. So it's almost like, you know, the two of you learn so much about yourselves, and then you just are able to complement one another and just really love each other for who you are. That's the thing I'm seeing here, especially from the Knight to the King. This is really about learning. It's about self-development. It's about growth. It's about self-nourishment. It's about self-love. It's about taking care of yourselves and then being able to take care of one another, because you've got the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles is about ourselves. It's about our energy. It's about, you know, us as an individual, and then it's that progressive energy of being able to move forward and really just, you know, feel good in that sense, because we feel good within ourselves. You know, it is about self-love and just really building up our character before we try to ingrain ourselves with someone else or put ourselves together with someone else, if that makes sense. So the Nine of Pentacles here is really this very strong energy of loving ourselves first before we have that love with someone else. And then also the Page of, which I really do feel that you have learned a lot in regards to with this particular person. And then also the Page of Cups here shows emotional feelings, manifesting and growing. There's a lot of significance in regards to that as well. And then you've also got the Three of Pentacles, which is again about, you know, learning lots in regards to this connection. The Three of Pentacles is about teamwork and collaboration. It's about trying to make things work. It's about going against the grain at times, and that's what I'm seeing. It really is such a significant energy, because threes in tarot are about it is about karma, and it is about learning constantly. And that's the thing, is that connections and love and any kind of relationship, I mean, even if it's friendship, we're always constantly learning, we're always constantly growing, we're always constantly getting to a place, and we're always trying to figure ourselves out. We're always trying to better ourselves. We're always learning as human beings, right? So this connection is also no different, where you're always constantly learning, and you're also learning about the other person constantly. You're also learning about yourself, you know, what works, what doesn't, what makes you feel happy, what, you know, doesn't. So it's one of those things where it's very much so all across the board is you're learning, but also there is this very strong element and tie to love, which we also pick up on as well. And you've also got the Fool, which shows a very strong energy in regards to, you know, love, but it also shows at times, you know, the person can be immature or not as emotionally attached as you are, and at times you may feel like, well, why is that happening? You know, what does that mean? Does that mean that this is not the right thing for me? I just feel like it's a work in progress, especially with the Knight to the King here. It is a connection that is a work in progress. It's something that gets worked on together, very much so, and it's about, again, that element of teamwork and collaboration and trying to make things work. And that's the big thing that we see here, especially with the Emperor as well, right? As I mentioned, the Emperor is not the most emotionally attached person. Neither is the Fool. You know, the Fool likes to do their own thing. So this is constantly a work in progress, where the two of you try to understand one another and really try and build up your own personal energies before you come together, you know, in a connection that is mutual and not one-sided, see? So that's what we've got there. And then you've also got the Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles is just super, super significant because the Seven of Pentacles here is just such a strong energy, which showcases this, well, you know, what I'm seeing is this card is really about reflection. This person makes you think a lot. This person makes you wonder and ponder a lot upon this connection. But there's also this really strong energy about growth, right? So again, there's so much more to come in this connection. There's so much more to grow in this connection. There's so much more to bloom and flower into this connection. And that's the thing, flower. Ta-da! So there's still so much more, I feel, in this, but I also feel like it's a constant evolvement, like you're constantly learning and you're constantly growing, and also with growth comes love, if that makes sense. So it's almost like there is love, but it's just going to grow and get stronger. That's what I'm seeing here, and there's this constant reflection and understanding of yourselves and then understanding one another, which leads to things growing and blooming and getting stronger as time goes by. There is an element of time here that I pick up very significantly. We've got a lot of pentacles, just thought I'd mention that. So there is an element of time that we're definitely seeing. So it's not a fast growing connection. It is a bit more on the slower side. It's slow but it's sensitive, right? It's sensitive growth is what I would describe it as. So it may not be the fastest, but I think that can also be not necessarily a bad thing, because at least it's not being rushed. It is going at a sensitive pace. And then you've also got the Queen of Pentacles, right? So that shows, again, love. It shows something very significant, and it shows also this element of having learnt a lot and sort of having this achievement at the end of it, which is also very, very significant. So I would say that group number 4, this is very much so based around love, but also having learnt so much as well at the same time. So it's more so love. That's what I would say, because love can also be about learning, but I don't see this specifically as a huge, humongous like lesson. This is about love and also learning, but it is also very much so based around love. That's what I'm seeing. So this is your reading, and if this reading resonates with you, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Do check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and of course my intention items, which are on Etsy. And yeah, I hope you have an absolutely lovely day or night wherever you are whenever you're watching this, and do take care. Bye!